Trump dummy, Trump dummy, Trump dummy.
What's up, guys? How you doing? It's your boy Bitcoin Rodney coming to you guys straight from somewhere in Cold Town, Utah. This is Provo, Oregon. Where are we?
We're in Orem.
We're in Orem, which is right next to Provo, I'm thinking. We're here right now with the owner of Clear Cellular. The phones you guys have been hearing about all of the last 2 days. It's getting very, very exciting. It's going very, very viral. And now we get to hear things straight from, I don't want to call him the horse, but the horse's mouth, and find out some questions maybe you guys wanted to always know. First of all, who is Michael proper?
A person just like each one of you, period.
I don't know about that. He's
No,
also
straight up.
definitely a wholesome guy. I mean, a great guy. I've had the last 3 days to spend with him and his family in his office, and these guys are down to earth guys. Now, the most important thing the questions that I'm getting, because we've tried a lot of rinky-dink cell phone deals, SIM card deals in the past. Every last one of them flopped. What is behind this company? What is the purpose behind this? How good is it really? Is it really the dream thing? Can we stop right here?
I think what makes it different is it's built on decentralization and a decade worth of, while everybody's running to central storage and systems, we've been running to decentralized storage and systems. Started a company called ClearOS, or a company called Clear Center that builds ClearOS server, and taken it to all around the world. So from 150 countries to 450,000 deployments. Top server manufacturers have basically literally use this technology in their servers. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise pre-installs it on their servers. And the back-end technology that connects up to the storage needs of phones is really what makes this different. So when you actually get a Clear phone, you can actually get a little piece of paper like this inside of it, or you can actually turn it into metal or other things that actually can tie to your encryption keys. But you're going to write down your 12 words. And these 12 words basically is the encryption keys from a master private key that will then be a derived key, whether it's your IDs, whether it's your logins, whether it's your wallets, that basically build off of this. And then it can scale from phone to phone to phone, or it can actually scale from parent to child, or from employer to employee. So let's say we grab that phone. There. So let's say we got 3 phones. Say we're just setting them up. This can be the parent, and you actually get your 12 words, and then you can get a child, and literally in the setup process, you actually sync that child through the derived keys of the parent to be able to help manage the apps, or where they go, or what they do, or even the passwords. So, and that's a parent-child relationship that could also work with an employer-employee, or for other things around the world, which we won't talk about just yet. But because these phones are actually built on decentralized architectures, storage and ID, a whole new world opens up. When individuals can actually gather their own data and their own privacy, literally, the centralized controls that we've all been basically just giving away our privacy for convenience changes. The whole world changes. So that's why this is unique. That's why this is different. And that's why it's important for you to pay attention to the opportunity that Rodney's telling you about.
And that's a whole lot of information. Let's get to the elephant in the room. The most important question I've been getting lately is, they say, well, if this is ran on the towers of T-Mobile, how is it really private? You know, how is it, can somebody just hack into T-Mobile and get our information? Where does it stop at?
So I'm going to just make a statement that in a new world where decentralized IDs, or what we call DIDs, basically become kind of like in the credit card world, you have your credit card number. You know, if I had a little...
Use my card. Okay.
No, that's not a credit card. Here, I'll just grab one real fast. So if you had a credit card number, this is why I'm sorry. If you're going to shoot something, you get prepped. So you got a credit card number, but then we also give them our private key, which in all reality, this is ridiculous. The whole world is operated on your first name, last name, online identity, public keys, private keys. It's just flawed. So imagine in a world where you basically become a decentralized ID, where you can prove who you are at all times, but the reality is whether you're navigating on a cellular network or you're navigating on other systems, you literally become not only who you are, but your reputation online as well. So, and you understand reputation, you understand the importance of doing what you say you're going to do, and whether you can prove your education, you can prove your employment, you can prove your financial history. There's a whole new ecosystem in many, many ecosystems that decentralized technology builds. It's not just decentralized currency, kind of like what our boy here, Mr. BitcoinRodney.com, which I think is hilarious. I love it. You know what else I love about Rodney? I love that he's real. I love that he is, like most of us, struggled through life, but he actually steps up every day with a smile on his face. I love his smile, and I'll be a bro, but I love his laugh. I love his smile. I love his attitude, and hopefully that rubs off on you. But the reality is we're here, really as brothers.
Yeah, indeed.
As friends.
Except for he made me wear these earmuffs and
the
glasses.
I told him I was only doing the interview if he kept his looks on and his earmuffs on. I just love his style. You'll see a bunch of pictures with us too, but I love that he literally pushes himself, like he's pushing you, to actually think outside the box, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to unite together. That's why we call Clear United. We unite together in many bodies, but with a single heart and a single mind, with systems where we can organize ourselves in such a way where mankind in general can actually have a better experience with technology. Are we going to solve the world's problems? No. We all have choices, but in reality, in the technology world, we don't. You're either on Apple or you're on Google, period. And those two choices are centralized choices. And the Clear phone is different from every other thing you've ever touched or smelled or talked to or grew or didn't grow with. It's different because it's not Apple and it's not Google. Yes, it's built on top of Android. ClearOS Mobile is absolutely built on top of Android. However, it doesn't tie back to Google in any form, fashion, period. These phones will compete with any of the manufacturers that are out there in the world today, whether you're talking about LG, Samsung, Lenovo, any of the different derivatives, or even the Nexus Google phones, and then the Apple phones as well. When you look at it, the cameras, the screens, the batteries,
incredible camera,
and the value of them, you just won't see out there in the world. For instance, the 220, this guy, and by the way, these are the actual sizes. So if we kind of pull them up here, no, you're fine. We'll just pull them up. So these are the actual sizes of the phones. This one's, the 220 is built really for an affordable phone for the masses. So $50 a month or $449 purchase price. And then you've got the 420, which is really the power horse and probably the most generally standard phone in the world, or at least for the Clear phones. And this phone is $100 a month, and it comes with cell service and some health services, which we'll talk a little bit more about in the future. But the reality is this technology for all Clear phones has unique scanners, unique logins, so they all basically have fingerprints and bios that all tie to a new technology called Clear ID, which will then enable you to have your data, which is a different conversation. And then from my personal favorite is the 620.
Yes.
It's literally the largest phone in the world today. What are we at? Christmas Eve on 2020. What a piece of junk year, huh? But the reality is, who knows what the future holds? I see we got conflict one way or the other, but just like that, you see that? You just smile through it. You're going to have difficult times ahead of us, but I believe if we all unite together, we can actually get through the turmoil that's coming. I think in 2020 is just the start of it. But go ahead.
I think the 2020 got us prepared for 2021. Mm-hmm. I mean, for example, one guy sent me a few little videos on WhatsApp, and a guy that, he's not a great big marketer or anything like that. People say, I don't join anyone except for big marketers. But the message was so good that I saw. I said, I can't talk to you. Get whoever owns this company on the phone, and then I'll fly out there immediately. A couple of days before Christmas in Cold Town, Utah. I didn't go to Miami or to warm.
I straight up told him, don't you come out here. I didn't even talk to him. I was like, we don't got time for a meeting. Do it next year. He's like, he's already in the plane. He's coming.
Exactly. I'm on the way there. And because I was excited, because I'm going to tell you the truth. For the last few months, I've been like wanting to find something that was more private because I'm in the crypto world. And people are, I mean, I was hacked last year in my phone, $80,000 gone, couldn't get it back, you know, and I was just praying for something more private. And all the other private phones out there really weren't that private, you know what I mean? I said, I'm going and check this out. It was very clean, very, very smooth. I said, these guys can't be this good. Well, they do live in Mormon country, so maybe they are. So let me just fly out there and check it out. So here we have Michael, my main man, Scott is holding the camera behind you. Scott Stansfield, he's the man, he's the myth, he's the legend. He got it going on. He's our upline. Thank God for him, you know. But the next thing I want to ask Michael for you guys is, let's talk about the opportunity a little bit. This is below ground floor, isn't it? I mean, we were on the cutting edge. You guys
technically below ground floor. Now he's actually 9 circles away. So Scott's here.
Right.
He's 9 circles away. So the word's traveling fast. But the bottom line is we're still in infant days. We talk about the Clear phones and really the technology behind Clear getting rolled out in 3 different phases. But we're barely just launching the first phase. As a matter of fact, February is the first time where we'll come out with all of it. And there's going to be some real people that will actually not just substantiate, but validate. And some of them, I mean, even the people that introduced Scott, they've known about what we've been doing for many years. We got 10 years into the server backend for storage. We got over 10 years in the whole Bitcoin world, which really, all it is a decentralized application. So you can actually have a database that can run on multiple different systems and do different things. It's not complicated what Bitcoin or any of these decentralized or what they call crypto apps basically do. But the opportunity here is, one, we're meshing up decentralized storage, which took 10 years, a decentralized phone with identity, which has taken 2 years, and in the middle of it, a technology called ClearGM, which has taken 5 years to build, which takes the whole of the internet, all URLs, IP addresses, everything, ports, everything, stops all of it, blocks it, and then allows only where you want to go in real time. So the first time you light up ClearWeb, which is the browser that this thing comes pre-installed with, ClearGM will basically start profiling where you want to go and what you do. And I would argue, you and I live in different worlds, but I would say 80% of the sites we go to are actually the same. For real.
That's about right.
You know, maybe there's 20% that's a nuance that's unique. But this artificial intelligence and machine learning technology behind ClearGM literally takes that 10 years of storage and 2 years of phone and stitches this all together in such a way where mankind can actually start owning their own identity. But you got to stop the noise. You got to stop the profiling, the marketing, the rebranding, the remarketing, the ads, the advertisements, and
retargeting.
And literally, when you look at it, you're talking like 20 to 30% of your bandwidth is actually in that remarketing.
Targeting, yeah.
So I guess the net is there's a lot of features and functions to this phone that makes it different. But ultimately, the opportunity to be able to tell people about it and then to be able to get paid in a new type of real-world cryptography proven. Again, I'll say Bitcoin was a litmus test from my perspective. It's a very solid, safe storage environment for savings. But is it something for checking? Can you actually transact with it? Can you actually live on it? Can you actually earn it in real time by just telling friends? Can you convert into any asset? Does the real world actually access this? Again, we've been involved in Bitcoin for well over a decade, and not a lot of people figured out how to get into it.
You have.
Well, yeah. So I guess.
And now we have.
Yeah, exactly. This is not about a you or a me or an I. This is about
us.
Yes.
You know, let me tell you something that's very important. I'm gonna put you on the spot for a second, but you're gonna like it, okay? So we were talking the other day, and I said, so what about this whole idea thing you got going on? He said, Rodney, I got money. This is not about money. This is about us now. It's about united, bringing something back to the people and bringing us together. He said it's not about the money. I mean, but I'm sure it's some money involved here, but he has a self that is putting himself out there in every phone of what he's been working on for over the last 10 years. Over 200 million behind this or in front of this, 10 years of experience. And from what I've heard from Scott, this guy puts the G in genius. You know, he's very, very nonchalant.
It's not about an individual.
It starts somewhere. There is I in team. I've seen it. I forgot to show you guys that.
But there's a team that's around this that are beautiful people. We built a business prior to this, started in 2000, and grew to all 50 states, 29 countries, and we couldn't do it without the people then, and we can't do it without the people now, period. And it just so happens that we chose to actually drive the marketing and pay 40% of every single dollar to people like you if you pay attention. All you have to do is tell other people about it. And not only are you going to be able to get value and money in your world, but you can actually get paid in clear. And when you get paid in clear, there may be some value in the future. And you guys that are already been in the cryptography-based world, you know and understand we can't say speculate and it's going to go up. That's not what we're saying. What we are saying is you will be able to operate your life on this. You will be able to not just use it as a normal cell phone with contacts, calendar, apps, anything you want to do that you're already doing with Google and Apple, but you'll actually own your own data. And when you start owning your own data, you're going to own your own privacy, and you may actually be able to monetize that in a couple different ways. One is telling people about it. Then you get a card. And maybe, just maybe, you start figuring out how to log into websites. Instead of using username and passwords, you log in by just touching when you want to log in. Maybe it's an application that tells you to touch. Maybe it's an app on your phone that tells you to touch. But you become your authentication, your face, your finger, your phone, and something that's asked at a certain time. So it's 4-factor authentication, whereas some of the highest systems today are 2-factor authentication with somebody else owning the encryption keys. The bottom line is you get the data and the privacy back to the user, and then there's a whole nother ecosystem.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're really talking about decentralized systems.
For real, for real.
And it's not just decentralized currency like what Bitcoin is all about, or all the other different alt tokens. It's about decentralized systems, decentralized identity, decentralized banking, decentralized loans, decentralized reputation, decentralized content. Imagine if you can create content on a decentralized platform like Facebook, but you can actually create content and get paid for it. Or maybe people get paid with their likes.
Yeah.
So like Rodney here gets a ton of likes and a ton of followers. He gets paid with likes, but you're actually sending little mini transactions. By the way, Clear can transact within 3 seconds all the time. That's
Wow.
huge. That's huge.
Very huge.
And at 1,000th of a cent, and it can convert into almost any asset in the world. It'll interface with those like Ripple and others, but the reality is they don't have the ability to distribute. We all use one of these phones. We all understand the importance and the liability. Well, I think most of us don't understand the liability with the phones. If you haven't watched The Great Hack, watch it. Follow Brittany Kaiser. If you haven't watched Social Dilemma, watch it. Both of them are Netflix originals, where they actually build them from Netflix. But please watch those 2 documentaries, understand the issue, and really I think The Great Dilemma explains it.
Well, guys, before we go any further, I'm going to stop right there for 1 second and put this in your head. Whoever sees this video, make sure you get back to the person who showed you this video. It's very, very important, because by the time you see and act, somebody else will already be in. I guarantee you. This is the first time this thing has ever been released. I mean, I had to get here to make sure that I got it. And I forced him to give me a phone. I forced it on him. I mean, I twisted his arm for real. But also, not only does he have nice phones, he has all these new gadgets that will be coming along later on, you know, with the iPod earpads and so all these gadgets he has, man. Incredible stuff.
So here we are kind of in where all the magic happens, if you will. But we basically come up with lots of different features or functions, whether it's charging devices. So it's a holder, but it also charges it at the same time, right? Not only that, but it'll actually hook up to, we're getting a call right now. It'll hook up to other devices such as these. So it'll actually do certain things. It'll also track more of your information. Whether it's a watch like that or watches like these. If you go up to clear.store, you can basically start seeing different ones. This is one of my favorites. So literally just the ability, it's a normal watch, but it's also a headset at the same time.
That is so cool. That is
Isn't
sexy.
tight?
That is
But
sexy.
it's actually a scanner that can also check your oxygen levels, your heart rate, which, yeah, all iPhones do that, or iWatches do that, the sleep patterns. But you'll find that some of the abilities within Clear tie to the individual's identity, which then can tie to a whole nother element of life and health. And when we start understanding what the individual in the center of health actually turns out to, then in the future, imagine 100 years from now, people being able to gather all the data of who we are, what we did, how we operated, and maybe we took a chemical, or maybe we took an herb, or maybe we took some other type of thing, and our health actually improved.
Yeah.
And you can prove it. You
Yeah.
can prove it with the data. It's all about the data, but the data has to go to the individuals, and then you can use heuristics and algorithms and machine learning and all these different technologies to then allow you to actually monetize your own data, which is a whole nother
conversation.
beautiful can of worms. But that's phase 3. Phase 1 is you're already buying a phone, you're already paying for a cellular service, you're already, and I don't know that people know this, but the number one biggest market in the world, you know what it is? Healthcare.
Yeah.
$135 every single month every human actually spends in one form or another on healthcare, whether you're living in Cambodia or Beverly Hills.
I think more than that.
but it may not be an insurance, because in my opinion, insurance is a part of the problem, literally. Pharmaceuticals is a part of the problem, literally. When we start being honest about truth and physics, a lot of things are going to get real fast, because we have an opportunity to come together and actually gather data, and in the data, we'll find the truth. Do we really believe what's going on with 2020 with COVID?
Not really, but something going on. We just don't know what it is. Something's crazy is happening right now.
I'll tell you what's going on. A financial reset and digital controls.
Yeah, most definitely so.
And that's what's driving a lot of this. And to be honest with you, all of us can actually vote with our own choice. You can vote with what phone you're going to buy. You can vote with what service you're going to use. You can vote with what applications you use. And I promise you, if you figure out how to migrate from Android or Google over to a clear phone, or from Apple, which is it's a harder journey. So commend you on making the jump. Because I know Apple
Apple's the devil.
No,
I can't stand Apple.
Apple literally
It's a cult.
it has a massive following and loyal customer base because they paid attention to detail and they care. They build a good product and they support a good product. But Steve Jobs is dead. Period. You tell me one piece of innovation that's come out of that company. You tell me one piece of guidance and leadership that's come out of that company. And what I would tell you is, we'll compete with Apple, Facebook, and Google at the same time. Where they got hundreds of thousands of people, we'll do it with literally less than 100. And if you want to join us and drive the awareness around what this is and unite mankind together and actually provide maybe some value for you, for your family, for your kids, for your posterity, for others.
Legacy.
Yeah, please help us.
One question I think that everybody wants to know before you go, and we're going to cut this short because you know you got other meetings. People have been asking me over the last 24 to 48 hours, is this available worldwide? They want to be, other people are calling me from Australia. They want to sell the phone. They want to use the phone. They want this. Are you shipping to other countries? I mean,
so we are actually shipping to other countries.
Great.
So there's 3 different pieces to this, okay? One is logistics. We talk about Australia. Clear Cellular is actually based out of New Zealand, and it all goes to New Zealand, and there's a bunch of reasons why. I won't get into them here. But logistically, they can go anywhere in the world, so yes. From a math standpoint, or an economic standpoint, or a currency standpoint, those things are all basically solved with what we're doing
Clear.
with this guy, right?
Right.
So that answers yes. From the technical phone itself, they work on majority of the bands and frequencies worldwide. When I say majority, they work basically in every single country. Today, you can get it in the United States of America, in Canada, and in Mexico, all on the same network, all on the same high speed bandwidth, as well as unlimited calling, so your long distance doesn't get tagged, and then others. So what we're basically doing is, in Australia or wherever, they can literally just get the phone. They have 2 SIMs, they're fully unlocked. Grab your cellular network that you're currently on. For us to get that third phase, we got to basically, in Australia, you got Optus, Telstra, Vodafone. So those are the 3 carriers. Clearphones will work with all 3 of those, from my understanding. If you take like over to New Zealand, you got Vodafone as well, work there. You got something 24. It's really it's a Maori-based network.
But whatever it is, taking it, put the SIM card from there into your phone.
But those all work for sure.
Right.
And then you've got Spark, which is a new telecom there. Great company, good company. But the point is get a phone, get your SIMs, see if it works, and then build out your country.
There you go.
There's like, Oh, you have tax issues? Yeah, there'll be reporting realities. But you can actually get paid in clear and you can convert into any currency. And if you already understand the crypto world, you understand that United States of America, where this is actually starting from a distribution standpoint, it was actually started in New Zealand. The United States of America will actually be one of the last adoptive environments to support this technology. Why? I believe the United States of America is actually a decentralized country itself, and that's why it's got a lot of things going for it. Every state, every county, every sheriff has its own autonomy to be able to regulate, and basically they're authorized to manage their own counties. So every single county, and we talk about voting, which is a whole other conversation. Go back and watch the interview I did with Brittany Kaiser about voting before the election started. There's some interesting things there. And if you haven't tracked Brittany is literally, there's a lot of people like Edward Snowden, like Julius Assange, like Brittany, these whistleblowers that literally dedicated their life to talk about truth. Please listen to them, please support them, please rally behind them. And by buying a clear phone, you and anybody else, they already are building circles, and they'll actually get some of the benefit and value here. But the reason I bring up Brittany is she worked Cambridge Analytica, okay, which tied to the whole Facebook debacle, which I won't dig into, which then actually helped Obama get elected. She specifically worked on that team, then helped Trump get elected, specifically worked on that team. And then if you watch The Great Hack, there's another presidency that she worked down south, which if you really dig into Dominion and see kind of what's going on with all this voting stuff, the net is democracy, choice, freedoms have all been censored through these centralized systems, whether it's Google, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, you name it. The Clear Community, which is a non-incorporated entity, which runs on decentralized infrastructure, and right now we're just figuring out how to scale it at mass, like we're talking millions of users a day. New millions of users. So you can literally take your data from Facebook, export it, import it right into this new ecosystem. And not only do you do that, but there's other ecosystems when you can actually log into your data, you can mine it and pull it to be a part of yourself. But I won't blab on that. Keep your Q&A going. So
well, you know what, guys? I mean, we've heard already a ton, and I stole some of his time. I showed up here early this morning before my flight, and hopefully I can catch him to get a few more words or a few more videos out of him. He's been nice enough to spare me, not throw me to the vultures. And
he's a good dude. Listen to him. And you know what? Anybody like me, I grew up in a similar circumstance like Rodney. And again, we're all the same, so please.
It's different colors, that's all.
And brothers from another mother, right? He's got better glasses and style than I do. But the net is his example of just tenacity and making good choices every single day, and serving others, loving himself, loving others. I respect that. And anybody that wants to basically follow the type of choices that you've made in your life
and changed.
Yeah, but we all remember truth.
Yeah.
So if we're really truthful,
kept it real.
Why are we here if we're not here to just make mistakes and learn from them?
That's
right.
There you
so
go. We'll make errors, not mistakes. Errors.
Amen.
Errors you can learn from, mistakes you can't. Right.
Amen.
You can't get almost pregnant.
I'm not going to talk about that one. So the bottom line is, ton of respect for you for saying, you know what, new phone, yeah, delivers in crypto, yeah, and then you start learning and researching and understanding decentralization and the history and really the purpose. And the purpose for this is not just for people or you just make some money. That's not what it's about. Think about government today. Can we get organized to at least have a voting system that's real?
Yeah.
You think we could do that?
I don't know, man. It's a quagmire out there right now. The things that are going on, it's a quagmire.
But if you look at technology, why is it that we have counties or states or countries or companies that have all these centralized systems? Equifax is a great example of it. They take everything in our lives
and use it against you.
well, they use it to build a reputation and a credit score, right? But are they good stewards over it? Is it really smart for us to take all of our data, maybe all of our passwords, maybe all of our credit profiles, and put them all in one place? We call that a honeypot in the security world. And it's a honeypot that can literally be penetrated and then taken. And you name the industry. banking, real estate, insurance, credit, countries themselves that haven't actually been compromised. And if you want to learn more, go to Clear United /products, I want to say /products/ID, and put your email address in that Clear ID area and see if you've been compromised. What's scary is like over 80% of the time we can actually give you your own password back. Now you tell me if you think you're actually, one, does your data not been hacked, but we'll tell you where it's been hacked, and then provide you the solution to actually be able to take your own identity back with a Clear phone. And it may even operate on other ecosystems, so it doesn't just stop with a hardware device. But I promise you, if you want into this ecosystem now, you want a Clear phone now because of the elements that it can actually open up for you, like Clear GM, like Clear ID, and then in the future, the ability to actually tie to the ClearShare network.
Question before we go. It's for the masses of people, and I want to ask you this because I went through this myself yesterday. I had to see for myself. I actually went to the hallway, and they had some kind of an iPad sitting in there on a stand, and it said, finance this phone. I said, let me see if this really works. So I put my own name, my real phone number, my address, my email address, and the last four of my social security, and it came back approved for $1,500 worth of phones. You know, I know it was a soft pull, no ding, no inquiry on my credit, and I was able to get another phone if I had chosen to. So that means, guys, that for some of you who don't have all the money up front and you really want this product and you want to market it, you can get financed as well through a company called Bread, right?
Now, it's important to note, and this is really important, Bread does the financing, Clear Cellular delivers the cellular service. And Clear Cellular will never touch any of your information that a Bread would have. And it's important to know the separation there.
There you go.
Because right now, you as an individual have a cell phone, hardware. If it's Apple, you don't even own the hardware, different conversation. Then the software, if it's Apple or Google, you're giving away your data, which you really probably don't even understand. And then your cellular network. Now your cellular network actually knows who you are. They know your social security number, they know your address, and you know what? They actually know more than all these other companies because they know where you go, they know what you do, they know what you search without you even having to give any kind of data.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
The combination of those three elements
Scary.
is really one of the reasons why you want to understand what Clear is doing for you. We've intentionally built different businesses. Clear Cellular to deliver the phone, Clear United to market the phone and even pay you. Now there's a difference between contact information with Clear United, contact information and payment information with Bread versus Clear Cellular that would actually issue a phone number if you wanted to, or you could port your phone number in. But what Rodney's telling you is you can actually use third-party financing to actually finance the phone if you want to own it outright. If you want to subscribe to it, it's a 24-month subscription. You can actually cancel after 4 months. Once you buy the hardware and basically pay for 4 months, then you can pay a cancellation fee. The right way to do it, if you really don't want to play that game, is to just go and buy the hardware. If you don't have the cash, like Rodney says, do the financing, and then 40% of it literally gets paid out in these circles, which, in my opinion, is the only way to market. I wouldn't have said that 2 years ago, because I personally don't like MLM. But the way this is built is not MLM. It's influencer marketing. All you're doing is sharing a URL that then if people buy, they sign up, they buy the phone, they're in your circles, the commission is automatically basically sent out. Very, very automated, very, very scalable, very, very predictable. You don't inventory anything, you don't stock anything, you don't, it's either, hey, it's not like.
Either you do or you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's what everyone you know has at least 2 or 3 phones, at least. And in this deal right here, you can put 2 SIM cards in one phone, stop carrying around all that mess. Now, guys, make sure you click the link below. There will be a lot of information that I will put in there about how to get started, doing the research on the company, on Michael, myself, and whoever else, and you can go from there and figure out if you want to be a part of this or not. So make sure you click the link below when you get done watching this video. I'm gonna cut this video short because this guy, you can go on and on forever. We're lucky we don't have Scott speaking because we used to be here until nighttime. Right? So guys, this is your boy Bitcoin Rodney. This is my man Michael right here, Michael Proper. They can look you up where?
You can actually schedule a calendar event with me. Rodney didn't know, but you can actually, there's actually an online form where you can actually see my calendar in real time. I'm open to the world, but please just be respectful of time. If there's something you want to talk about or meet about, I'll take the meeting. But make sure we got clear objectives and aligned location and time.
Yeah.
So, but you can grab me at the right way to do your due diligence is go to www.clear.co.com. You can see every one of the Clear companies. You can see all of our history. You can see, click on culture. A lot of people are like, I don't believe this. You haven't been building this for 10 years. You blah, blah, blah. But you actually go back, click on culture on that, go scroll all the way to the bottom or click on 2009. And you literally see me like 10 years younger holding up a phone like this. And it was actually the first, it was before, and once this happened, we were like, we're not doing that, we're going to the server side. It was before Android and T-Mobile and Google partnered up to actually launch what was called G1. When that G1 hit, we're like, pause button on the phone, we're going to the storage. And we spent 10 years on the storage building this. So again, you basically are working with a solid team, 20 plus years of history in doing this. Me personally, back to 1992. The technology really works. The phones really work. Are they perfect? I'd say they are, because I'm pretty particular. And I promise you this, just like you could trust Steve Jobs when a product was released, the product was ready. These phones are solid. The hardware's solid, the software's solid. Are there advancements that we're excited to release on it? Heck yeah. But the phones and the technology is solid and stable. And then when we talk about the market, and this is one thing I'm going to draft over here real fast, and then you're going to go and do whatever research you want. The market is so freaking large. When you talk about communication, when you talk about ads or marketing, and when you talk about medical, we're talking about a massive, massive market. If you've been involved in any kind of MLM or direct sales in the past, you're usually talking about lotions, potions, vitamins, oils, etc. And I think it's a very, very small sliver of the whole freaking industry. So when you're talking about really the team, the technology, and the market, I would argue that you haven't ever seen anything like this. I would also argue the importance of all of us uniting behind one another and together. Please don't bring people in that are just here for greed. Please don't bring people in that are just looking to cause problems. We need people that are united together, that are actually willing and want to work together to build a new ecosystem that is decentralized, not centralized. Please help us. Rodney?
Peace. See you on the next video. We out.
Thanks for coming out here too, buddy.
You got it.
I look forward to your next visit.
I'm going to bring you some earphones. Some earmuffs.
No need. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you later.
Peace.
Bye.
Trump dummy, Trump dummy, Trump dummy.